is upon us. Mitlalpili is with us here on Comunidad Del Valle. He's with Calpuli Tonaleque. They've been on our show before. In fact, they're going to close our show with a special dance performance. A beautiful, colorful, and very cultural dance performance at the end of this broadcast here. Welcome to the show, Mitlalpili. Tell us about this year's event. Do you say Happy New Year? Educate us, if you will.
Yes, most definitely. Yes, yeah. You know, we definitely want to have people get used to that, you know, saying Happy New Year, you know, and this way, because there's a lot of different calendars in the world, right? Like, for example, we just finished celebrating the Chinese New Year.
Right.
That was just a couple of weeks back. Huge gathering at the fairgrounds. And then, obviously, you know, December 31st, January 1st is a huge New Year celebration as well. So, yeah, we want to, our goal is to educate the community and get our gente involved in our celebration as well.
Why do we have a separate New Year? And this is Calpuli Tonaleque from a few years ago. But why do we have a separate New Year, a Mexica New Year, if you will?
Yeah, our calendar is lined up with around springtime, right? So when actually things are new. Actually, you know, other cultures around the world, a lot of ancient cultures around the world used to celebrate the New Year in March time frame. Even, but it was happened that Julius Caesar, you know, the king of at that time, the emperor, he decided that he wanted to realign the New Year to January 1st, and because he was the Almighty One, he was able to do that. So that's why the majority of people, well, the people that follow that calendar follow that calendar.
And you said, no, we're going to keep it...
Well, yeah, in our culture, we've always... I mean, if you think about it, in March is when things are actually new. You start seeing the mountains, they start getting green, the flowers start coming out, everything is a rebirth, right? In nature.
Mm-hmm.
So our calendar is based around nature. And then, you know, if you go to Teotihuacan or Chichen Itza at March 21st, around the same time, is when there's, you know, a lot of... how do you say, not symbols, but they have in Teotihuacan on March 21st, there's no shadow that's cast.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's millions of people that go to Teotihuacan, and, you know, people go there to charge for energy. Also in Chichen Itza, the pyramid that's there, the way the sun casts a shadow on the pyramid, it shows like a snake going down as the sun moves down, and that represents a time to plant. So, you know, the culture was aligned with nature, and that, you know, that clock, you can say, is still working today. And millions of people go there from out the world. They go to those two places.
My wife and I have been to Teotihuacan, and what a cultural experience, if you will. So tell us about your event. It's March. We'll show the information in just a bit, but March 10th and 11th, you're having a big celebration.
Yeah, so the actual New Year is happening on March 11th at 6 p.m., at sunset, actually. So that's when the actual New Year starts, because every year the New Year starts at a different time. For example, this year, the year of the Flint, it starts at sunset. Next year, it'll start at midnight. The following year, it will start at sunrise. And the following year, it'll start at noontime, you know, high noon. And the reason is that, so that eliminates, that quarter of an extra day eliminates the leap year. Mm-hmm. So there's no need to have an extra day every 4 years. So this year is actually the year that has a leap year, right? So that's why this our calendar is one of the most accurate in the world, because we have 365.25 days.
Isn't that something? Now, I've known you from college days, and you've been dancing también with Calpuli Tonaleque for a long time. Tell us why you do that. I mean, it's just by talking to you, you can see that La Cultura is in you. You're proud of it, and you want to share it with everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, you know, one of the things that that I've learned, you know, one of the Mexica wisdom, you know, they say it in the child is the adult, in the seed is the tree, and our past is our future. You know, so it's important for us to know where we come from, to know where we are today, to know where we're going to go in the future. You know, it's like any tree, any plant doesn't grow without roots. And the same thing for us, too, you know. So it's important. What we want to do, we have this huge event. We bring all our friends together, and our teachers from Mexico, from L.A., friends are coming from Chicago, from Oregon, Tijuana, all over the place, is going to gather in this place. And we're going to, you know, have this educational event for our community. You know, it's going to be healthy, no alcohol allowed, right? We want to make this different from the Cinco de Mayos and other events that I grew up going to and being proud of, you know, being happy of. But, you know, I've seen the effects that the alcohol has had on our communities and on those events, you know. And so we wanted to do this event just as big, but without the alcohol, and focus on the family, focus on the children.
So Budweiser can keep their money for this event.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're our expert here when it comes to this, and I'm going to just throw something at you. Is there a difference between the Aztec calendar and the Mayan calendar? Because everybody, I mean, even everybody in every corner of the country knows that the Mayan calendar expires at the end of 2012. Maybe we can go through the Aztec calendar. If that doesn't expire, we'll be able to survive another couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I mean, there's a lot of of correlations, and there's a lot of different calendars within Mexico, even Michoacán, Oaxaca, the Zapotecos, the Mexicas, the Mayas, the Tarumaras. They all have different calendars, but a lot of them have. There are a lot of maestros in Mexico are doing the studies, and they're seeing that a lot of them are the same. A lot of them are based on months of or counts of 20 days, 20 times 18, 360, and then 5 1/4 days, 365.25. So a lot of them are very similar. Some of them have the similar symbols. Some of them are a little bit different, but pretty much the counts are the same. And depending on what area they're from, sometimes there's a little bit of difference, of timing. But for the most part, from being in central Mexico, which was the capital of Tenochtitlan before, a lot of the information was shared from throughout the continent, So a lot of them, there's a lot of similarities. And, a lot of people talk about the end of the Mayan calendar, or the end of the world, and, a lot of people are really...
there's a movie about it.
Exactly, right? Taking advantage of it to either fear, get...
So are you and I going to be here at this time next year?
Hopefully, man. Anything can happen anytime.
Hit by a truck on the way out of
here. Our ancestors say, live every day like it's your last, No esperas para mañana lo que puedes hacer hoy.
All right.
Nunca sabemos, pero it's the end of a cycle, but it's the beginning of another cycle.
There you go. Come out and enjoy this festivity. It's on March 10th and 11th at San Jose High School. You said it's the second oldest high school in California. I did not know that. It's celebrating the Mexica New Year with Calpulli, Tunaleke, and hundreds of other people at San Jose High School.
Free for the community.
And it is free. There's a number to call for more information. You can also email Qualnesi there at the Yahoo email address. Mitlalpili, thank you so much for your education today. All right, Happy New Year. Gracias.
Thank you.
And up next, around Comunidad del Valle, they will perform here Calpulli, Tunaleke. Stay with us.